He played the bass line that made millions headbang. He was there when rock history was written. And yesterday, we lost one of the greatest bassists rock has ever known. This is the story of Francis Buchholz. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because today we're talking about a rock legend who just left us. Francis Buchholz, the bassist who gave us some of the most iconic rock anthems of the 80s and 90s, passed away at 71 years old. And trust me, his story is way more incredible than you might think. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. Can you imagine Rock You Like a Hurricane without that thunderous bass? Neither can I, so stick around, because we're about to explore the life of the man who made it happen. So let's rewind to the early 1970s. Francis Buchholz wasn't born into rock royalty. He started like most of us, as a kid with a dream, playing bass in a high school band somewhere in Germany. Nothing fancy, just pure passion for music. But here's where it gets interesting. In the early 70s, Francis got together with three other musicians, Uli John Roth, Jürgen Rosenthal, and Achim Kirschning. They formed a band called Dawn Road. Now, you've probably never heard of Dawn Road, and there's a good reason for that. Because Dawn Road was about to become something much, much bigger. That's right. Dawn Road eventually merged with another band, joining forces with Klaus Meen and Rudolf Schenker. And what did they call this new supergroup? The Scorpions. Yeah, that's Scorpions. Francis Buchholz wasn't just joining a band. He was becoming a founding member of what would become one of the biggest rock bands in the world. And his first album with them? 1974's Fly to the Rainbow. That was just the beginning. Now, let's fast forward to the 1980s. This is where Francis Buchholz and the Scorpions absolutely exploded onto the global stage. From 1974 to 1990, Francis was on every single Scorpions album. Think about that for a second. We're talking about albums like Love Drive, Blackout, Love at First Sting, and Crazy World. These weren't just albums, they were cultural phenomena. But there's one song that changed everything, and I guarantee you've heard it. 1984, Rock You Like a Hurricane drops. That opening riff, that pounding rhythm section, that absolutely massive bass line driving the whole thing forward. That was Francis Buchholz. His bass work on that track is legendary. It's one of the most recognizable rock songs of all time, and Francis was right there in the engine room, making it happen. The song went to number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's been covered countless times. It's in movies, video games, commercials. It's everywhere, and every time you hear it, you're hearing Francis Buchholz's genius. But wait, there's more. Because in 1990, Francis did something that would touch millions of hearts around the world. Wind of Change. You know this one. That whistle at the beginning. That incredible melody. Wind of Change became an anthem for the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War. It's one of the best-selling singles of all time, with over 14 million copies sold worldwide. And Francis Buchholz? He was laying down the bass lines that gave that song its emotional weight. His playing on Wind of Change is subtle, melodic, and absolutely perfect for what the song needed. No showing off, no unnecessary flash, just pure musical intelligence. But here's something that might surprise you. In 1992, at the peak of his career, Francis walked away from the Scorpions. Why? Let me explain. 1992, the Scorpions are one of the biggest bands on the planet. They're selling out stadiums, topping charts, living the rock star dream. And Francis Buchholz decides to leave. Now, we don't know all the details. Band dynamics are complicated. Creative differences happen. Sometimes people just need a change. But whatever the reason, Francis stepped away from the band that made him famous. But did he retire? Absolutely not. Because 20 years later, Francis proved he still had plenty of rock left in him, 2012, Michael Schenker, the legendary guitarist who had his own history with the Scorpions, was putting together a new project called Temple of Rock. And who did he call? Francis Buchholz. Francis joined Temple of Rock for their 2012 tour, and it must have felt like coming home. Playing rock music, being on stage, connecting with fans, that was what Francis lived for. He didn't just tour with them either. Francis contributed bass to Temple of Rock's albums Bridge the Gap in 2013 and Spirit on a Mission in 2015. Critics loved his work. Fans loved his work. Francis Buchholz was proving that great musicians don't have an expiration date. But yesterday, on January 22RD 2026, the music stopped. Francis Buchholz passed away following a private battle with cancer. He was 71 years old. His family announced the news on social media, saying he departed this world peacefully, surrounded by love. They thanked fans for their unwavering support over the years. And man, the outpouring of love from the rock community has been incredible. Musicians from all over the world are sharing their memories, their favorite Francis bass lines, their stories of meeting him. Because that's the mark of a true legend, the impact they leave behind. And that impact? It's absolutely massive. Think about how many people grew up listening to the Scorpions. Think about how many aspiring bass players heard Francis's work and thought, I want to do that. Think about how many moments in people's lives were soundtracked by songs that Francis helped create. That's a legacy that will never die. Let's talk about Francis's playing style for a minute, because this is important. Francis Buchholz wasn't a flashy player. He wasn't doing crazy solos every 5 seconds. He wasn't trying to be the star of the show. But you know what? That's exactly what made him so good. Francis understood something that a lot of bass players forget. Your job is to serve the song. And he did that better than almost anyone. His bass lines were like the foundation of a skyscraper. You might not notice them, but without them, everything would collapse. Listen to Rock You Like a Hurricane again. Really listen to the bass. It's driving, it's powerful. It's locked in perfectly with the drums. It's not complicated, but it's exactly what the song needs. Or check out No One Like You from 1982. That bass line is melodic, it's memorable, and it complements the guitar riffs perfectly. Francis had an incredible sense of arrangement, and that's what separated him from the pack. Francis Buchholz was a musician's musician. He had impeccable timing, he had great tone, and he had the wisdom to know when to play and when to hold back. But his influence goes way beyond just his playing. Let me explain. The Scorpions were one of the first German bands to achieve massive international success in the rock world. They broke down barriers. They showed that great rock music could come from anywhere, and they inspired countless bands around the world. And Francis Buchholz was there from almost the very beginning, helping to build that legacy. Wind of Change became more than just a song. It became a symbol of hope, of transformation, of a new world being born. How many songs can you say that about? And Francis's bass work was part of that magic. The Scorpions have sold over 100 million records worldwide. That's not just impressive, that's legendary status. And Francis Buchholz played on the majority of those records. So when we say we lost a legend yesterday, we're not exaggerating. We really did. Francis Buchholz gave us decades of incredible music. He gave us bass lines we'll never forget. He gave us memories that will last forever. To his family, his friends, his former bandmates, and to all his fans around the world, we're thinking of you today. Francis's music will live on forever, and that's the greatest tribute any musician could hope for. If you're a Scorpions fan, go listen to your favorite album tonight. Crank it up loud. And when you hear those bass lines, remember Francis Buchholz, the man who helped create the soundtrack to millions of lives. Rock in peace, Francis. You really did rock us like a hurricane. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more music history content. Drop a comment below with your favorite Scorpion song or your favorite Francis Bass line. I'll see you in the next one. Rest in peace, legend.